What is it like to be in a union with the twin flame? These are uncomfortable relationships. These relationships are designed to create new worlds, new levels of laws, rules, and systems. 3 days before meeting my twin flame, I actually went on a date with a guy who just brought a book with me to the date. The guy, the main character of this book, currently lives in Spain, in the beautiful region called New Andalusia, where I am currently filming this video. When I first met my twin brother, my very first thought was, I'm indeed ultimately home. You experience immense feelings of love, a truly divine level of love, love that is unconditional, love that is all-embracing, love that is greater than your personality. This union is created for a purpose, meaning it has some kind of global significance. This is not just a union between two people, it is a union for the world, for a new world, for the transformation of a large number of people. What is a twin flame? How do you meet him? And most importantly, how do you live with it afterwards? Find out in today's episode. Today's episode is being recorded on my beautiful and serene terrace, the terrace of my house where I am building my family and my relationship with my twin flame, making it a perfect place for reflection and connection. My partner and I have been together for 3 years, and I can definitely say that these have been the most powerful, most transformational 3 years of my life. We are currently expecting our first child together, and this is also a significant journey of transformation and a new experience for the world, showing what it is like to be in a union with a twin flame and bringing new people into the world. This journey is filled with excitement, anticipation, and a deep sense of love and connection. Today, we will talk a lot about various personal matters. I also have an interesting idea in mind to record an episode together with my partner. If you're interested, please leave your reaction in the comment section below. Your thoughts and feedback are valuable. A partnership with a twin flame is indeed a very extremely uncomfortable relationship. It is truly a relationship with oneself and with all one's truths and honesty, which one may not always want to acknowledge. In fact, the first thing I want to point out is that if you have become lucky enough to have that very important twin flame partner in your life, it indeed truly means one very good and significant piece of news. Really indeed. You are indeed prepared and truly ready for this, and you have truly progressed far enough on your spiritual path. Are you ready to transition to level 5 consciousness and build complex relationships? These relationships are with yourself. Now, let me explain what I mean. We all think that if we had a friend who is just like ourselves, it would be absolutely awesome. We would definitely have fun, it would be absolutely fantastic, and we would undoubtedly be inseparable. So, you are given a friend just like you. You stand before your own mirror, your own reflection, and build a relationship with it. But the mirror is not only the one that shows your most wonderful, cool, kind, sincere, open and fun parts, but also all your shadow content, so to speak, which you didn't want to acknowledge, notice, see, and denied until this very moment, indeed. So, this will all definitely be reflected in your partners. Everything that can irritate us within ourselves will be manifested in your partner. So it's definitely great to meet your own twin flame, of course, but there's an absolutely huge amount of work ahead, undoubtedly. What were these relationships created for in the first place? In fact, from my experience and observing twin flame couples, I clearly see that these relationships are not just about the relationship between a man and a woman. These relationships develop you as a couple by fostering mutual understanding and trust, and mutual goals, so that you can effectively and efficiently carry a mission, an idea, or a thought to the masses of humanity. In other words, these relationships are designed to create new worlds, to create new levels. Laws, rules, systems, and regulations, completely beyond the usual normative relationship structures and frameworks that were built in the past. These relationships are not built on dependency. They are not built on a sense of duty, and they are not built on any laws, rules, or structures that were familiar in the old times. In other words, these are relationships of a radically new era. There are no rules here, only the purest flow of creativity. And you need to navigate these perpetually undulating waves and fluctuations like an experienced sailor, finding just the right course and route through all its complexities and intricacies daily while gaining experience daily and discovering yourself more deeply. You will never confuse a meeting with a twin flame with anything else. And if it happens, you will know. It's like an orgasm. When it happens, you will know. It's impossible to mistake that unmistakable feeling of familiarity, home, warmth, and coziness. It's like a puzzle coming together into a beautiful picture. When I met my twin for the first time ever in my life, my first thought was, I'm home. I hug myself, I don't feel another person next to me. It seemed to me that I was hugging myself. So that you don't confuse this concept with other types of relationships, it cannot be that, for example, these feelings are indeed not mutual. So it may happen that for some reason and circumstances like work commitments, travel, or other personal responsibilities, you are not physically together. However, you absolutely feel and know that the person you care about feels the same way about you as you do about them. You experience an immense sense of love, a divine level of love, a love that is unconditional, a love that is all-embracing, that is greater than your personality. That's how I would describe it. And you absolutely, undoubtedly, and unquestionably know, without any shadow of a doubt, that the other person feels the same way about you. A twin flame does not imply disrespectful relationships in any way, nor does it imply cold relationships where you constantly wonder if he loves you at all, in any manner. No, you definitely know this is your person. So let's discuss 6 clear and unmistakable signs by which you can confidently determine if you have indeed met your true twin flame, the one who mirrors your soul and completes you in every way. First, by living your own life, you have precisely determined that you can no longer avoid living in your own truth. What do I mean? For example, you have gone through the experience of karmic relationships and learned all the lessons, understood what everything was for, and decided to take a deep breath, decided to feel freedom and connect with your own truth, to feel your own truth, where your truths lie, to fully explore yourself and completely understand your journey. That's what happened to me, and as soon as I decided that I was done living my wonderful single life, I liked everything about my life. I travel, I have many hobbies and friends. I find myself very interesting. I am evolving, embarking on interesting new experiences. Hello, welcome. My twin flame has arrived in my life. The second thing is that you start to sense this person in your field. The most interesting thing is that you kind of understand what the person's image will be like, how you will feel them. This happens completely unconsciously, and you don't focus on meeting them. I will now tell you about a client case that happened just a few days ago, fresh off the press for this episode. I have a girlfriend who is very dedicated to her studies and attends KAP sessions, and believe it or not, after a KAP session, her twin reached out to her, and when she was just simply sitting with her eyes closed, words literally actually started coming to her saying, "Right now, at this very moment, I am on the beautiful island of Bali. The exact time was announced exactly in Bali, Indonesia. I am waiting for you." I have reached a certain level of consciousness where I possess telepathic abilities. I can communicate with you, which of course caused the girl to panic. She immediately wrote to me and said that I was going crazy, asking who was contacting me and what was happening. She clearly experienced the energy of this man, and she was absolutely certain she wasn't imagining things because the time the message from her twin was sent exactly matched the time she Googled and saw that it was indeed the same time in Bali. She was definitely not mistaken. Believe it or not, twins incredibly and indeed connect with each other by telepathic means. They truly and actually feel each other from a distance, no matter how many kilometers apart you are, where you are, or how they actually connect with you. You start to sense this person in your field in advance and much earlier than the meeting actually happens in physical reality. The meeting unfolds in a certain sequence of events that is beyond logic and comprehension. You would never act this way in your entire life, but it's as if someone is gently leading you by the hand, and you, almost as if guided by some higher consciousness. Just go somewhere, agree to some unexpected meetings, and certain mysterious signs indeed appear in your life. So I'll tell a little story about how it was in my own personal practice, a bit more detailed. 3 days before meeting my twin flame, I went on a date with a guy who brought a book to the date. How many guys do you know who bring books to dates? The book was in English. I am Ukrainian. There was a date in Ukraine in the year 2021. That is absolutely illogical and completely illogical details that seem to draw attention to make you look at it and think deeply about it and think that it is some kind of, I don't know, nonsense. This guy didn't know that I was unexpectedly flying to Egypt, where I actually encountered my twin, and he gave me the book called The Alchemist. And the book The Alchemist takes place in Egypt, and the guy who is the main character of this book lives in Spain, in New Andalusia, where I am currently filming this video. So, my twin flame and I live in New Andalusia. We met in the beautiful country of Egypt. These kinds of signs will accompany you throughout your entire meeting and throughout all of your relationships with your incredibly special twin flame. This is what makes them distinctive, as if the entire universe is giving you hints on how to be together, how to meet. The next point is instant recognition. It's the feeling that you're hugging yourself. It's the feeling that, okay, I've stopped searching, I don't need anyone else anymore. And this person absolutely and completely satisfies all my needs. It's like puzzle pieces perfectly fitting together. You see, this is truly wholeness. When I first deeply hugged my man, a phrase echoed in my mind and soul, in my heart. At that time, I wasn't at the level of awareness to understand what this phrase meant, but today I do. It was the word 0 point, absolute. So, you merge into this unity, and you reach an absolute point of consciousness, a divine consciousness, where there are no positives or negatives. You are in absolute balance, in a state of unity with the whole world, with yourself, and with your partner. It's the feeling of I am home, I have returned. I ran for a long time, I searched for a long time, but now I have found my true state of wholeness, and I am home. If what I'm saying resonates with you right now, and you would truly love to feel all this fullness, unity, and sense of home, give this video a like, and may your wish come true. I sincerely, truly wish this for you. Another point that undoubtedly determines that you have met your twin flame is that at the initial stages, from a personal level, it truly seems that these relationships are absolutely and entirely impossible. That means at the very least you are separated by thousands of kilometers in distance, and at the very most, this person has a family and children and has no intention of getting a divorce. There are certain human worldly attachments and connections that are believed to hold you back from truly connecting and forming meaningful relationships with each other on a deeper level. So, this is also a factor that shows that you need to overcome this belief together, that it's better to stay calm, clear, and familiar, rather than choosing the path of the soul and the path of connecting with your true counterpart in your personal growth and overall life satisfaction, which impacts your emotional well-being, with a focus on mental clarity. My man is American, I am Ukrainian, and we met in Cairo. We started traveling together. And for about 3 months, we got to know each other while traveling. Then he moved to Ukraine to be with me, and later we moved to Spain together. Therefore, the distance that indeed seemed like it might be able to become an obstacle for us did not actually become such an obstacle, in fact. But there are also other aspects, such as some fundamental decisions which are also crucial that you make for yourself. For instance, my dear man had a strict rule: I will absolutely never be in a relationship with a woman who already has children. Of course, I already have 2 children from my first marriage, and indeed that was a big challenge for him. But what is most interesting is that it is in this decisive resolution that the greatest potential for the couple's development and the growth of each individual lies. Because he is such a wonderful father, one you would have to search far and wide to find. And not fully realizing this truly remarkable and incredible potential that he holds is simply a crime. As of today, he is simply the best buddy for my daughter and a stepfather for my little son, providing them with constant support and love, always there to lend a helping hand. And the last point I would like to emphasize greatly is the telepathic connection in these relationships. You feel each other from a distance. Maybe one person feels more, maybe the other feels less, but it's like you communicate without words. Well, for example, I might be at home feeling nervous about something, definitely, I don't know, some kind of hormonal reason, and my man immediately calls me and says, I feel that you're nervous, I feel that you're worried what's happening at home. In other words, it is, in essence, a completely and utterly illogical and inexplicable part for people with ordinary consciousness, but an absolutely and entirely natural communication tool for twin flames. Let me also say that when you change, your partner changes too. For example, in karmic relationships, only you change while your partner remains your endless trigger. How can we not confuse twin flame relationships in any way with other types of relationships, such as, for example, soulmates or karmic partners? The twin flame concept is fascinating because it has an amazing feature. When one person undergoes a change, the partner changes automatically, reflecting their deep connection. So your task is simply just to always keep the focus only on yourself. Simply, if you want any significant changes in your relationship, neither standard therapeutic practices nor any other methods whatsoever, neither psychology sessions nor deep and meaningful conversations, nor discussions of various issues will help until you make a personal change. The structure that creates such behavior of the twin on the external screen will not help. This is a very important point. If you change, your partner changes automatically. You only need to focus on yourself. In contrast, for example, with soulmates, you don't need to work on yourself as much. You live in perfect harmony, and these relationships are calm and good with mutual understanding. You can easily, effectively, and efficiently address and resolve issues through traditional therapy and psychology. You can talk about your feelings, and if you have a sufficiently high level of emotional intelligence, you won't have any problems. Just like with a karmic partner, you can work on yourself endlessly and tirelessly, change, grow, surpass yourself, and become a star of awareness. Your partner will never change, and continuously. He will never change, and he will always remain the same. He will be your endless trigger, a constant source of pain and emotional suffering that will keep bringing up your issues and programs until you realize that you no longer need to go through this karmic lesson. And then most likely you will simply come to the realization that you no longer need this particular partner in your life to go through these painful lessons over and over again repeatedly. And you, with a calm and composed soul, absolutely and completely without any resentment and complaints, leave these associations and move on to associations on other levels at all. Usually, twin flames are talked about from an enthusiastic point of view, and today I am no exception because I know how to work with them. I know how to be in these relationships, how to build these relationships, and honestly, I must admit, the only thing that saves them is that I am a quantum therapist. I believe that if my current level of awareness wasn't at this current level, we definitely wouldn't have lasted even a single year. So, what do I want to say? The only way to build such meaningful and lasting relationships is to continuously develop yourself, improve your skills, and be completely autonomous in your actions and decisions. This is very important for personal growth. Twin flame relationships often go through phases such as separation and challenges like growth. And these are indeed not truly the most pleasant situations, especially if you come to understand that this person means everything in your life to you, and you feel deeply that your entire world is contained within this one special person. Going through separation is extremely difficult. For this, you need to have an awareness of your own wholeness, meaning complete autonomy, material, emotional, psychological independence, because, as those at the level of 4D consciousness correctly say, these are simply codependent relationships in reality, and in essence, in fact. If you enter these relationships with 4D consciousness or, God forbid, 3D consciousness, yes, it is just ordinary codependency, meaning you will not attain any depth through these relationships. The lessons will be very difficult to go through. That is, it is a relationship between two separate individuals, and only in this way can it be built. Thank you for the attention you paid to watching this video. I hope I have shed a bit more light on this topic for you. If you have any questions, I would be very happy to answer them based on my own experience and the experience of my clients. Because this is truly a very important aspect of the new era, the attitude of the new era, that not only does our personal and professional development occur during the transition, but in pairs we can create entirely new worlds and new unions that are beautiful and inspiring in their manifestation. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next episodes.